Good morning, Jack's Vein Studio Live number 10, live 3 times a week on Twitch. Actually, probably it's going to be at least 3 times a week on Twitch, because probably this weekend I will be streaming as well. Today, I started the stream a little bit early, because I'm pretty excited. I have like at least 5 points in my to-do list. And I hope I can get this done reasonably quick, all of them. So I wanted to make sure that this is all documented in the videos. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting a couple of years down the line to watch back to these videos, to how everything started. So let's see where we are today. I'm in a situation where I have something that kind of looks like a sailing thing. So right now I'm still cheating on the rudder. So rudders are simply additional forces that I can put on the boat. But the actual sailing, it's reasonable. It's still very simple physics, but it's still it's actual physics. So what we can see here is that we have an overlay of what the virtual wing is doing. So what we are seeing, what is happening in the physics, and one of the tasks for today will be having the graphics, for example, follow the angle of this wing. Right now, the angle of the wing is automatically calculated by the system, the optimal angle, because I started yesterday trying to control the angle of the wing myself, and trying to do that and then drive and then move the camera. Right now, what I'm doing with my keys, I was going crazy. So I was like, all right, let's do this automatically for now. And let's see in the future if it's actually something that makes sense to give a decent control to the player to do this. For the wing control, there is really a potential to have a multi-crew system going on, where one player will be steering the boat while the other players will be trimming the wings. Right now there is only one angle, but this thing can get pretty complicated because the actual wing also has a camber that can be adjusted, and the wing has actually 3 or 4 elements vertically, and so and each of these elements have potentially they can have their own camber and their own angle. So potentially you have like 6 elements that can be trimmed. So this is sort of doing surprisingly what we want. I added the wind direction here. So we can do something that looks like a tack. And go there. And off we go for our next stack. So it's surprisingly doing well, and you can see you can see the boat rolling, or whatever the nautical term for roll is. So the plan for today is to do these 5 things. First thing, I want to attach the camera to the boat so I don't go crazy chasing the boat all the time. Want to add some data. Ciao Andrea, mi conferma. I want to add some data on the UI so we can see the speed that we're doing, the velocity make good, and all those nice stuff. I want to add XInput support so I can start driving the boat with this, which hopefully makes more sense than keyboard. My idea is to keep this possibility of moving, but just attach it to the boat. So that should be reasonably easy. It can be difficult in situations where, especially if I hit a point where I go like, okay, I cannot do this. I need to go and read about physics, about boats, something like that. So that's what I'm scared about. I'm scared about or hitting a point live where I just cannot continue without going back to the books. And it's not really something that I want to do live. I don't want to sit here reading a book. Because the idea of Rust, right, is that you do an investment at the beginning or during the development, so you spend more time compiling and making things to work, and then you hope that once you do that, your entire software will be more robust, especially when it comes to things like the way multi-threading works, where it's pretty much almost impossible to create data arrays and things like that. So it makes you feel like confident of the software you wrote. The problem is that realistically, you will never have the counter proof of, okay, if I did this in C++, how long will this take me in C++? With less friction, but potentially more bugs and potentially, the classic sailing of 20 years ago with the America's Cup and things like that. I like that. I like the strategic side of it and so on, but I want something exciting. So what really attracted me about these boats, that was like, this thing will make a great game, is that they are fast and exciting to drive. That's what I hope, right? So it's not really working. The rotation is not. There is something wrong in. But the idea is that now we are. No. Okay, so is it just the opposite? It looks more promising. Well, if it's not one, it's the other one, right? So, all right, we are attached to the boat now. This looks so exciting. It's interesting how the boat, as we start, has this tendency to turn into the wind, which is expected. And the reason why this is expected is because we are only having right now this sail at the back. So all our aerodynamic push is coming from this point, which is way behind the boat, right? So it's pushing that way. And that means that it's trying to push the nose of the boat back into the wind. What I want to do is really try to get the camera not to start in this position if I can. That's a reasonable starting position. I can definitely do better. Although it's pretty good. Well, it's all right. I think I can live with this as a starting position. It's good. I call this done. It's not that I don't understand. I understand how it works. What I cannot really predict is how difficult it's going to be to drive, and to make sure that the boat doesn't go all over the. That's a simulation value going. Sailing guys out there, that if this has a better name, If this has a better name, please let me know in the chat or in the comments in YouTube how you call the speed of the boat. Because I would call it speed, right? That's what I would call it. MS2 knots. Which is, come on, it's one function. Just do it, you lazy bastard. Let's call it in honor of our friends. Flat Earth velocity. It's basically, so in theory we don't have the speed doing that up and down as the boat is moving. Yep, 0 knots, and then we start moving and then we get the speed, which is good. Right, so velocity made good. Look at that. Whoa, whoa. I wonder, and again, I think this is something that people that do sailing race perhaps can share their knowledge here on YouTube. Is velocity made good always in reference to the wind direction, or is it relative to whatever target in the race I have right now? So if my target is not really downwind or upwind, but is 90 degrees from the wind, is velocity make good an indication of my progress toward that target, or is just against the wind? I love this stuff. I love how Rust allows me to do this. It's just so elegant, and then I end up with an immutable variable. You know, in C++, this will be either a mutable variable assigned to this and then change the one. If I go this way, right? So the Stefano Casillo way, just add a minus sign somewhere until it works. There you go. So 0 degrees, then we go this way, boom, and we are 30 degrees. Come on, boat. Keep going. Chop, chop. Come on. Care about the absolute value. It's not something that I want to put in the game anyway. I don't want. That's too easy for the. It's too easy for the skipper, if you can read that number. Although I suppose that they have that number somewhere. The boat computer should be able, because they can calculate the VMG. If they can calculate the VMG, they can calculate the wind angle. I mean, the physics is so simple right now, but it's already looking like a boat. A bit too fast, but I think this should be the speed, about 7 knots, where we start to race on the foils and get way faster. What else? What are my next XInput support? So I should I do that, and then we start to bring the numbers in to move the head. I also wonder if WinAPI has this thing that will make my life so much easier. Ooh, it's got it. It's got it. So in theory, I should be able to drive this thing with the gamepad. Can I? Yep. For now. Before I do the tagged, let me do this first. Let me do the animate graphic objects because I'm curious to see how it looks. Yeah, and I don't like this. Should be called bone ID. All right. So if everything works, we should see the helms moving. Love. Interesting, because one is working, the other one is not working. Check. All right, there is a problem with the pivot. Like this one is working. Huh?
You call me?
Yeah. I'm saying there is a problem with the pivot. This one is working.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this one.
Okay.
Can you put it in the? You still have the. Let's go. All right, and until we wait for the fix, let me animate the wing. So okay, so how I'm going to animate the angle? I'm not 100% sure about this angle business. This is a candidate for being replaced. All right, okay, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing is turning, and two, is it rotating? Nice. If it is, because the I have to do something with the when we are really close to the wind. Hey Dominic. So let's see. Well, it looks like I nailed it on the first attempt. It's always scary when I nail a sign on the first attempt. I don't know, this is somehow poetic. It really works. Can't believe it. All right. One thing that I would like to do, I would like to be able to press the D-pad. Well, a couple of things. I would like to be able to rotate my head, move my head on the boat instead that with the mouse, like I'm doing right now by clicking the mouse. Yes, my love. You send it to me? Let's try the new model. Should we try the orange one? Let's try the orange one. So if it works, first of all, we will see orange, right? Cool. Let's see the helm. Yep. Yep. Perfect, baby. Perfect. I knew that today was going to be a fun day at work. I'm drifting. Jesus. It's still okay. Also, this other one, right? Okay. So what I was saying that I would like to be able to jump from one helm to the other with my D-pad. Right. So we are in a situation where I should be able to switch from one helm to another. Moment of truth. And nothing happens. Jax, let me work, right? Absolutely nothing happens. All right. Jaco. He's hungry. That's his way of communicate that he's not happy. Why this thing is not working? And the oligopol Jax, what's your plan? What's your plan? Let Daddy work, right? You give him crackers there? Otherwise he will not let me work. Come on. Go down. Go to your money. Run. Right, okay, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Thank you for the follow. There is something I'm not understanding about these buttons in XInput. But this is completely It's because I'm using completely the wrong. Am I calling the wrong? Am I doing the most stupid to helm left? And it's not that? To right helm. That was stupid. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna do this all day. Well, this thing, once it gets on foils, it should be able to do about 80-90 kilometers per hour. So it should be pretty intense. So the speed that we're doing now, 5 times. Oh, I just use my right thumb, which is way better way more control than the other one. Right, so let me see how it feels to attack with this. Let's go up to speed and go. That's more like that's more like Prada Luna Rossa speed. Bang, can go on this side. Imagine how cool this thing is gonna be in VR. I don't think maybe I should get rid of that. All right, so we have our cyan buoyancy forces now. We have the lift with nice and green, and we have, in theory, the drag with red. All right, can hardly see the drag, but that's my problem because the physics of the sail is shit, but it's fine. Which brings our to-do list to nothing for today, which is great. So guys, I want to thank you. This has been a 4 hours 0 minutes stream. It was amazing. I was really excited for today. This really starts to look like a game, so that's great. If you're watching the recap on YouTube, Remember that you can come to watch this on Twitch live if you want. Just follow me there, subscribe there, follow me on YouTube, share on social media. So, a lot of people will know that probably this game will exist. I will see you guys next time, which is going to be probably this weekend. But I'm not sure. For sure, Monday morning at 10 o'clock. Ciao, ciao.